Traders, welcome to the Blufx 101 series once again. Today we're talking something that is super important that you understand before you embark on your trading journey here with us at Blufx. That's right, we're talking leverage today. We're talking what is leverage, how can it affect my trading, and what does Blufx offer in terms of leverage. Now, as I said before, I spend a lot of time in the Facebook group. Questions about leverage and the general theme of leverage come up an awful lot. So today I'm going to explain it for you in crystal clarity, and you can hopefully will go away at the end of the video knowing exactly what leverage is and how we operate at Blufx, and also why we operate in the way we do at Blufx. So let's move swiftly onwards. What is leverage and how can it affect my trading? So, super quickly and very simply for you, leverage is borrowed money from a trading broker to increase the value of a trading position and is usually represented in a ratio, such as 1 to 100. So, a 1 to 100 leverage ratio means that every $1 that I personally deposit as the trader into my account, I put it in for my own money, that $1, the broker will give me up to $100 available to trade with. So, we're increasing our position size by 100 times in that case. Now, because of this, our profits and our losses are magnified, which can seriously affect the initial deposit made by the trader. Small price movements of a currency pair can represent large account balance changes. Because you're trading with 100 times the position size, it means you need 100 times smaller of a move in that currency pair you're trading to represent a move in your account. And you might double your $1, you might lose your $1. So in this case, it's a very high stakes game if you're trading with a massive amount of leverage, like 100 times. So next slide, we're going to discuss exactly what we offer here at Blufx and why we operate in the way we do. So let's move swiftly onwards. I will say, if you want to pause the video, take some notes at any point, please do that. You don't need my permission. Just if I'm going too quickly, please pause the video, take some notes and read up on what I'm telling you. Let's move swiftly onwards. What does Blufx offer in terms of leverage? Okay, so Blufx offers a 1 to 3 leverage on our trading accounts. Now, trading parameters that we have here at Blufx, including ones that concern leverage, are based on vast amounts of trader data that we have collected over time. We've got a lot of traders who trade with us, and we've collected a lot of data. And most importantly, what we want for our traders is to be long-term profitable and consistent. And we understand from the data, the results are that the lower leverage you use and the lower leverage offered, the more consistently profitable people are in the long term. That's all we want for our traders. It works for you and it works for us, and that's what we want for people who come to trade with us here at Blufx. Now, because you're trading with such an increased size position, if you're using a lot of leverage, it means that you can't endure a lot of drawdown on the account, and it means it's the quickest way to account destruction, because nobody can be right 100% of the time. Perhaps your entry is a little bit off, you haven't entered at the perfect point, and it means that if price is moving away from you, you've bought a currency pair and it's selling off a little bit, it means that you can't survive those sort of moves. There's natural pullbacks that happen in the markets you're not allowed to take part in because your leverage is so high that you can't withstand the trade because it just wipes your account. But here's a kicker, and something really important to remember for those who are newer in the markets and come from a retail space and are very used to be offered 100 times, 500 times, 1,000 times leverage in some cases. There's absolutely no need for leverage to make some serious profits when you've got some serious funding behind you. For example, before any leverage, a 5% growth on a $100,000 account is $5,000. And this is very simple math, of course, but people don't understand this, because if you're trying to change $100 into 1,000 into 10,000, you're going to have to use leverage to do that, to make it quickly, that is. And unfortunately, if you trade in that way, it might not end up too great for you. But you don't need leverage at a high level of funding. And all of the institutions and the high level investments that happen in the industry, they don't use any leverage because they have the funding already. Leverage is something that's there primarily used and marketed towards people who don't have the funding. And don't just take our word for it. Government financial institutions such as the FCA and ESMA have imposed limits on how much leverage trading brokers can offer due to risk to retail traders. Now, this is my point. They've obviously identified there's a risk to retail traders, and people have lost a lot of money this way. And that's the opinion of the industry governing bodies. So there's obviously something in what we say as far as low leverage means longevity and profitability in the long term. And I'm going to go as far to say a very bold statement that improper use of leverage is one of the big reasons that 95% of traders lose money while trading. As I say, if you get the funding you need, you don't need to use leverage anymore. And that's the thing with Blufx. We offer that 1 to 3 leverage. It might not seem very much to those who are newer in the game and newer to their trading. But trust me, when you've got that funding behind you, you don't need to rely on leverage anymore to make a serious level of income. So next slide, we're going to discuss a few more details on what we do here at Blufx and why we operate in the way we do with leverage. And this is the last slide, almost there now. Why does Blufx opt for such low leverage? Now, low leverage, it allows us to identify talented and consistently profitable traders. We're looking for that sort of trader who's consistently profitable and talented, so we can give them the higher level of capital. It works for us and it works for them, and we want to reward those traders with access to the capital that they need to make a serious income. Now, we're not looking for those people who just make a huge profit on a very highly leveraged account and position before they absolutely blow it. We don't want people like that looking after the capital here at Blufx. We want talented and consistently profitable traders. So that is a reason why we keep the leverage low. So we are in an environment where we can see straight away who is consistently profitable and talented as a trader. Last point I'll make is something that's super crucial to trading in general, but you need to have a proper and strategic risk structure that's in line with your technical analysis, your own personal analysis of the markets. Because as we know already, price often doesn't move in one direction, and a trader's strategy has to account for this. It has to account for this, because if you're not allowing yourself any breathing room within the trade, you can be in a profitable trade, a trade that would have worked out in your favor, but you can't remain in that trade long enough because of the leverage you're using. So that was leverage today. Any further questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'm happy to answer any more questions you have about leverage, but I will catch you in the next one. Take care.